halftime, something in the hip region where I was just trying to keep it loose the second half and be able to make plays for my team. And it just kept getting tighter and tighter in the hip region, and I just couldn't move around like I wanted to. And I was just throwing with a lot of arm, and I was trying to make plays and stay on the field and fight through. And just disappointed I couldn't finish.
Disappointed is the word. You can actually use that word to describe both teams, despite the Rams getting the win. We'll dig into all of this, but we do have Ian Rappaport joining us this morning, our NFL Network insider. We all saw Trubisky have that exchange with Coach Matt Nagy on the sideline, and then he was on the sideline for the remainder of the game. What can you tell us about the Bears quarterback situation today ahead of their game in Week 12 against the Giants?
No, certainly, Kate, there's going to be a lot of examination of, well, many things in this game, including that sideline conversation, which we're now going to see many, many times. Clearly, a frustrated Mitch Trubisky, a frustrated Matt Nagy, trying to get to the bottom and trying to figure out what is wrong with Trubisky and why was he playing like that. If you look with about 40 seconds to go in the first half, Trubisky gets kneed in the hip area by Michael Brockers. Perhaps that is a hit they were all talking about. And Nagy took several moments after the game to say this was not a pulling of Mitch Trubisky. This was not benching him and putting in the veteran Chase Daniel. Obviously, they want better quarterback play, but to do it at that time, just watching it did not make a lot of sense. And knowing that Trubisky was injured makes much more sense than him being pulled at that moment. That said, this Bears quarterback situation is now very much in focus. How healthy is Trubisky? If he can't move around like he usually does that limit his effectiveness as a quarterback? Is he going to be healthy going forward? What kind of tests is he going to have on his hip today and tomorrow? Far more questions than answers regarding the Bears quarterback situation going forward.
And the most important question, of course, Ian, is he the franchise quarterback of the future? Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll have you back in a little bit, of course. But take a look. Mitchell Trubisky ranks last among QBs in the league in passing yards per game and yards per attempt. He's tied for 26th with just 9 passing touchdowns this season. Rams fans, we are going to get into love for you, of course, for getting the win. Todd Gurley looking revitalized. But, Nate, what do you think they should do at quarterback with Mitchell Trubisky?
They should explore options. I mean, this is the point in his career where you either solidify yourself as a franchise guy or there's more questions about who he is moving forward. And I think that's exactly where we're at right now. Now, I know the draft might not be an option when you look at picks and available guys coming up in this year's upcoming draft. But there might be a first rounder. Exactly. So there might be guys to trade for. I mean, one dude that comes to mind is Cam Newton. Now, I know the situation is very unclear. We don't know what they're going to do at the QB position, but I do know Cam will be well rested. He should be healthy. And if indeed it's time for Carolina to move on, then maybe this is one of the suitors, a team that can have Cam get a fresh start to his career. They'll have some type of revitalization within that offense. Fans will come and sit down because there's a new former MVP now at quarterback. But even more options like that because there's a few backup quarterbacks in the league that could make a chance to start next season, and Bears might be a suitor.
And listen, after what we saw yesterday, I don't know if the Panthers are getting rid of Cam, but as far as the Bears, here's what kills you about Mitch. He's a very talented guy. He works so hard, impeccable teammate, doesn't do social media, leader this, film that. It's everything you could ever want from a franchise quarterback. And then he gets out there and he just doesn't have it. That's what kills you because it's a perfect suitor. And what really kills you, they bet on him. They bet everything on him. Mitch has to work or the plan doesn't work moving forward. And what's so paralyzing for Bears fans is there is no Brandon Allen or Kyle Allen or Gardner Minshew, some late-round guy. There's nobody. It's him and it's Chase Daniel. Matt Nagy's known Chase Daniel for years, has coached him for years. They're not going to Chase Daniel. He's not the answer, and it appears that Mitch is not the answer either. And it's a crushing blow for Bears fans, but they have to do anything they can in the offseason because he's had a lot of chances.
And yet I'm watching last night, and I don't think Trubisky played well. He did have an awesome back shoulder touchdown pass to Tariq Cohen in the third quarter, but I'm watching it, and I'm not like coming away from the game being like, oh, Trubisky lost that game. That game was terrible for the Bears. And Eddie Pinheiro, yet again, misses 2 field goals in the early parts of the game. That gives them a chance. They go for it on 4th, inexplicably at one point. But, you know, at some point, it's not just the quarterback. Khalil Mack last year was one of the best players in all of football. We built our show around being the Khalil Mack cheerleading show at times. He's been invisible. The offensive line has not protected Trubisky, and all of those acquisitions that you're saying there was a plan, whether it be Allen Robinson or Taylor Gabriel or Trey Burton, they're no-shows also. So from the NFL's Coach of the Year, Matt Nagy, to the new defensive coordinator, Chuck Pagano, right down the list, no one has been great this year. They're a 4-6 team, and I look at that and I come off this morning and I'm not thinking, man, Trubisky stunk again. That wasn't my takeaway. My takeaway was that's not a good team, and it's from the top of the roster right down to the bottom.
Patriots took on the Eagles. Should we look at those highlights?
Let's do it.
Let's get
Let
right
go
to it.
against the wind.
Let's do it.
Let's pick it up, Nate. Come on. Come on. Fun, Nate.
2017 World Champion banner.
Yeah.
Rematch of Super Bowl 52. Carson Wentz. 12 straight games with a pass TD, the second longest streak in the NFL. Right here, he's going to find Dallas Goedert. It will get stripped out, but then they will review it. It will be called a touchdown. That was a 95-yard drive, longest drive allowed by the Patriots. They would talk about it on the sideline. Later in the second, Patriots ball, trailing 10-3. Tom Brady dropping back. Who's he look for? Julian Edelman, sure-handed, and no, he drops the rock. Julian shocked, as we all are. Upset, and rightfully so. Tom Brady was hit in that first half, 14 incompletions in that first half, and that is the most in his career. Third quarter, how do you fix that? Get the ball out of Tom Brady's hand quickly. Julian Edelman, give him an easy catch. Actually, let him throw the ball. That's exactly what they do. That is his first regular season TD, which is shocking because the former QB usually throws the rock. That's a touchdown, the door set back in the end zone. All right, fourth quarter, though. Now they still have a chance, down by 7, a minute left. And check it out. We got Carson Wentz trying to make a play. That right there is incomplete, but yet and still, they have time. There's time on the clock. Pay attention to this play right here. Throwing it up back in the end zone, and Aguilar has it. Oh, he doesn't. I want you to take another look at this. He just doesn't track the ball well. It hits his hands, and it's a drop. Difficult catch? Maybe.
That guy was everywhere.
Difficult catch? Possibly. But it is a drop. It hits two hands. You have to come down with that one. The Patriots, they hold on to this, and they are 9-1. They win this game 17-10. And here's head coach Bill Belichick and Doug Peterson after the game.
Big drive offensively coming off the goal line there in the fourth quarter. Put our defense in good field position. Our defense played really well in the second half. I mean, the players, they covered well, they rushed well, they tackled well. They just did a good job. Looked like they were having a lot of fun out there today, and played with a lot of good energy. And so it's good to come down here and get a win.
The guys are disappointed. I mean, they're frustrated, you know. They understand that we're a better football team than what we played tonight, and we just have to, as coaches, we got to coach better, obviously. We understand that. We got to play better. We didn't make enough plays. I thought the defense really kept us in this football game for the most part. And then offense, we would just fail to execute.
Lane Johnson once said the Patriots didn't look like they had fun. Yeah, it was a different looking box score yesterday than in the Super Bowl. This was the rematch game. Neither team looked like what they looked like last time they faced each other under the brightest lights of all. Man, about half as many total yards, 7 less touchdowns scored, bunch of injury shrags, and 15 more punts. Carson Wentz had 2 drives in the final 5 minutes of the game. They had the chance, of course, to tie or even really to potentially take the lead.
Yeah.
They could not get it done. Was this game a case of Eagles missed opportunities, Trags, or just Patriots defensive domination?
There's 2 different conversations going on in the NFL right now. There's the one for the 31 other fans that are not Patriots fans and our show, and all. Then there's the Patriots fans who are freaking out. Like, Patriots fans are freaking out because the 3 decent defenses you've played this so far, the Ravens, the Eagles, the Bills, the offense has been anemic. I mean, Brady's got 1 touchdown in those 3 games combined, and yet 9-1, defense is awesome, went on the road, won a big game. The Eagles didn't have it yesterday. I mean, I'm watching this game. It's punt, it's punt, it's punt, it's punt. It's drop pass. It's let's try to get something going. There's no everyone's injured, all these things with the Eagles, and yet the Patriots didn't look great either. And I come away from this game thinking, okay, am I more on the Patriots fan message board right now saying, what's wrong, we have to get right? Or am I thinking, you're 9-1, if the playoffs were today, it's going through Foxborough, we're going to be just fine. I don't know where I stand on the Patriots still this morning.
It's hard. I look at Philly. I remember last week, Kay, you said the Cowboys are in the driver's seat, and I said the Eagles are in the back seat. They're in the car seat because they're the baby.
They're Calvin trying to drive the car.
Yeah, they're my son who wants to drive, and the Eagles fans felt betrayed or something. And I feel betrayed by the Eagles. They're not a good team. It was a heinously ugly game. If you didn't watch this, it was like you ever pay for a boxing match and it's the most boring boxing match you've ever seen? It was like the Eagles had them just where they wanted them. They had them. They were winning. They have no knockout power. All this game was two guys grabbing each other and ducking, and the refs separating them, and those crafty little Patriots stealing rounds in the last 10 seconds and winning on the cards because the Eagles had no juice. There's no electricity. You watch Dallas, for all their faults, they got firepower. They got juice. Eagles are flat, and they had this team beat at home, all right? They were going to beat them on their home turf right now in Philly. Couldn't put them out. No knockout power.
You're talking about juice and knockout power. Do the Patriots have that? Does Tom Brady look like he has that? You look at the AFC, you look at the NFC, there's so much power. And I understand there's a thought out there that they're not as scary looking as some of those other teams right now. Doesn't that all sort of change in the playoffs, though?
I can't get there.
Yeah.
I
they
won't
lose
get there.
Philip Dorsett. They got N'Keal Harry back.
Peter raffled off 3 games where the defense got outplayed. They won 2 of those games, you know? And I think they'll have a plan for Lamar next time around. We'll see. I'm not getting there with the Patriots, but the Eagles, tough.
Yeah, the Eagles tough. They had an opportunity. Nelson Aguilar, I feel for him, but, you know, as a wide receiver, he has to catch that rock that puts your team in a position to take it into overtime. When it comes to the Patriots, as much as I can criticize the offensive sputtering in between those punts, it was basically 1,000 ways to throw a screen pass. They were trying to figure out how to throw a screen pass to every single skill player on their team. But with all that said, the criticism we're going to throw out there to New England, they're 9-1, Kay. So I can't complain about how they win. Right now, they're still in the driver's seat of the AFC.
They're allowing less than 1 offensive touchdown a game. That dominant defense got them that win. Yes, again, more Good Morning Football, more highlights. All of the highlights for you. A wide receiver not named Amari Cooper goes off for Dallas.
Gallup's money. This guy's great.
Fantasy sleeper on Game Day Morning. Yeah.
Awesome.
Lamarkable was trending yesterday, and Lamar makes his case for MVP. Peter did. We learned a new word here. Does it seem to be?
Is remarkable going to be a thing?